a todos y bienvenidos a Language Hub. Soy yo, Señorita Edwards, and for today's video I'm going to look at the 2018 Csec Spanish P1 exam, and I'll look at part A in this video. So part A of this exam will be your listening comprehension, and it usually lasts for 45 minutes, and you have to cover items 1 to 30, so numbers 1 to 30. All right, there are 4 sections that you have to complete, and the first one is the section where you have to listen to the sentence and you'll choose the corresponding image. All right, so you're not going to hear a repeat of the sentence. It's only read once, and then in between each question you'll have 15 seconds to respond. So let's get into it. Question 1. ¿Les gusta oír el cuento? If you selected B, then you are correct. So they like to hear the story. Oír is a verb to hear, and el cuento would be story. Question number 2. Siguen caminando a pesar de la lluvia. If you select D, then you are correct. So they continue walking in spite of the rain, right? Siguen caminando, they're still walking or continue to walk. A pesar de means in spite of, and la lluvia would be rain. All right. Number 3. El niño empuja el juguete. So that would be C. The boy pushes the toy. El juguete is toy. So the verb to push would be empujar. So it couldn't be B, because in B the person is pulling the toy, right? So if you were to hear pull the toy, you would hear tirar del juguete. All right, so tirar is to pull. All right, so question number 4. La torta de la quinceañera es muy grande. That would be B. All right, so if you hear la torta, 3 of them are cakes, but quinceañera would signify that it's a cake with 15 candles, because it's for somebody's 15th birthday, a quinceañero, right? So this would be the obvious choice. All right, number 4, that was B. And in number 5 now, la mujer es modista. Five has to be C. So she is a seamstress or a dressmaker, modista. And couldn't be A because she's a peluquera, hairdresser. Lady in B seems to be a singer, cantante. And in D, she looks to be like a businesswoman or even an architect. So you could hear businesswoman, mujer de negocios, or you could hear architect, which would be arquitecta, right? 6 says la mujer está colgando la ropa. This is a pretty popular one, so the answer has to be C. The woman is hanging out the clothing. In A, the lady is sewing. The verb is coser, so you would probably hear la mujer está cosiendo. She's sewing. Right? So C. In number 7, the sentence reads, los jóvenes se divierten jugando a los naipes. Los naipes would be cards, so A would be the correct choice here. Right? They're playing, the children or the young people are having fun playing cards. In B, they're playing instruments, los instrumentos. In C, this seems to be checkers, right? Checkers would be juego de damas. And I mean, it doesn't seem to be chess, but if you were to see the game of chess, el ajedrez, right? And then in D, they are playing with muñecas, dolls. So 7, los naipes, cards. And the last one for this section, number 8, la pimienta negra les hace estornudar. That would be B. La pimienta negra, the black pepper, les hace, makes them estornudar, which is to sneeze. Alright? And that's it for section 1. Section 2 is where you would hear 2 sentences read, followed by an incomplete statement or a question. Alright, so usually the statement is read twice and then you'll hear the question. So the examiner will not pause to say, oh, here's the question. No, you have to listen carefully with this section to see when the question is going to pop up after it's read, after the statements are read twice. So here goes. Question number 9. Llueve mucho y no veo bien la carretera. Llueve mucho y no veo bien la carretera. ¿Cómo debe conducir el chofer? ¿Cómo debe conducir el chofer? So the answer here would be D, con cuidado. They're asking, how does the driver need to drive? How must the person drive? Because the statement was llueve mucho, it's raining a lot, y no veo bien la carretera, and the person can't see the roads well, right? So how do they need to drive? Con cuidado, carefully. Right? Number 10 says, Señor, ¿dónde se encuentra la oficina de correos? Señor, ¿dónde se encuentra la oficina de correos? Esta persona va a comprar sellos, helados, zapatos, animales. 10 would be A. The person wants los sellos. Sellos are stamps, right? They're asking the person, Señor, ¿dónde está? Or ¿dónde se encuentra, lo siento, la oficina de correos? Where can I find the post office? So if you hear oficina de correos, you know that means post office. So you have to be selecting something that's related to that. So it couldn't be ice cream, el helado, zapatos or shoes, and animals, right? So it has to be A. Question 11. El cielo está nublado. Parece que va a llover. El cielo está nublado. Parece que va a llover. ¿Qué tiempo hace? B. Hace mal tiempo. So they're saying the sky is cloudy. Parece que va a llover. It seems like it's going to rain. ¿Qué tiempo hace? What's the weather like? Can't be A. Hace buen tiempo means it's good weather. Hace viento means it's windy. And D. Hace calor means that it's hot. So it has to be B. Hace mal tiempo, it's there's bad weather, or the weather is bad. Number 12. Carlos, ¿por qué no hiciste tus deberes? Carlos, ¿por qué no hiciste tus deberes? ¿Dónde está Carlos? En la clase, en la iglesia, en la librería, en el mercado. He's in la clase. He's in class. Because you would have heard the word deberes, right? Homework. ¿Por qué no hiciste? Why didn't you do tus deberes? Why didn't you do your homework? So you'd more than likely it's a teacher asking him for the homework. So he's in class. En la iglesia would be in church. En la librería, in a bookstore. En el mercado, at the market. Question 13. La chica tiene que guardar cama. La chica tiene que guardar cama. ¿Cómo está? Feliz, enferma, traviesa, simpática. If you chose B, enferma, you're correct, right? So it's saying la chica tiene que, the girl has to guardar cama, stay in bed. She has to literally keep her bed, or right? But it translates to that she has to stay in bed. Right? So that means that she is sick. Can't be feliz, happy. Traviesa means naughty. Simpática would be kind or nice. So it has to be B, enferma, sick. Question 14. Todo el mundo está sentado a la mesa a punto de comer. Todo el mundo está sentado a la mesa a punto de comer. ¿Qué dice la madre? Feliz Navidad. Buen provecho. Que lo pasen bien. Que les vaya bien. B. Buen provecho. So they're saying here in this sentence, everybody is seated at the table and they're about to eat. A punto de comer. They're about to eat. What does the mother say? She has to say, enjoy your meal. Buen provecho. Can't be Feliz Navidad. That means Merry Christmas. Que lo pasen bien. Hope you have a good time. Or que les vaya bien. Hope everything goes well. Right? Has to be B. 15 says, question 15 says, necesito estudiar para un examen. Necesito estudiar para un examen. ¿A dónde va este alumno? A una librería, a un almacén, a una sastrería, a una biblioteca. So they would be going a una biblioteca. They're going to the library because they said, necesito estudiar. I need to study para un examen, for an exam. So they're obviously going to go to the library to do that. Librería, same thing here. Bookstore. Una almacén would be like warehouse or a storehouse. Una sastrería would be like the tailors, right? So D. Last one in the section, question number 16. Camarera, la cuenta por favor. Camarera, la cuenta por favor. Este cliente quiere ir al baño, salir del restaurante, sentarse para comer, pedir información sobre un plato. It's B, salir del restaurante. So the person is calling the waiter, la camarera, and they say, la cuenta, por favor. La cuenta would be the bill. Bill, please. La cuenta, por favor. So they want to leave the restaurant. So it's not to go to the bathroom, to sit down to eat, or to ask information about a dish. It's leaving. And that's it for section 2. Section 3 are the announcements. So you remember, you get 2 of them, a first selection and a second selection. Each of them has 3 questions. You will not see the questions. The examiner will read the announcements twice. So each selection will be read twice, and then they have the 3 questions that will follow. So you just have the possible choices to the questions, so you can look at them to see what the words are, what they mean, but you will not have anything else to do. And of course, after it's read twice, it won't be repeated. All right, so let's see what the first selection for this is. Aviso importante. Acabamos de recibir información de que se está acercando una tempestad fuerte. Llegará mañana aproximadamente a las 12 horas. Estará acompañada de vientos con una velocidad de 150 kilómetros por hora. Habrá lluvias torrenciales, truenos y relámpagos. Aviso importante. Acabamos de recibir información de que se está acercando una tempestad fuerte. Llegará mañana aproximadamente a las 12 horas. Estará acompañada de vientos con una velocidad de 150 kilómetros por hora. Habrá lluvias torrenciales, truenos y relámpagos. Question number 17. ¿De qué trata el aviso? Una venta, una tormenta, una epidemia, un accidente. So the answer here would be B, una tormenta. It's about a storm, right? You would have heard tempestad fuerte, right? In the announcement, and the tempestad is another way to say storm, right? So B, 18 says, ¿a qué hora va a llegar? What time is it going to arrive? What time is the storm expected to come? Muy temprano, a medianoche, por la tarde, al mediodía. D, al mediodía, because they said a las 12 horas. So at 12, that's when it's going to come, approximately at 12, aproximadamente a las 12 horas. So midday, not midnight. Medianoche would be midnight. Por la tarde, afternoon, and temprano, very early. So D. Question 19 says, ¿qué tiempo va a ser? What's the weather going to be like? ¿Qué tiempo va a ser? Mal tiempo, va a nevar, buen tiempo, tiempo espléndido. If you chose A, mal tiempo, then you're correct, because it's a storm, so it's gonna obviously have, or B, bad weather, right? Va a nevar would be to snow. It's going to snow. It's not gonna be good weather, and it's not going to be a splendid time. So A, bad weather, and that's it for the first selection. So the second selection, I'm gonna read it twice, too, and notice I go kind of fast at the first reading, and then I slow it down in the second read, right? On the second read. So that's what you can expect in your exam. For the announcements, the examiner will go at their natural pace, a bit quicker, and then for the second read, they'll go a bit slower. All right, second one. Atención radio oyentes. Hoy a eso de la 1 de la madrugada se escapó un prisionero de la cárcel Los Lobos. Fue encarcelado por el asalto del Banco Nacional hace un año. Tiene una cicatriz distintiva en la frente. Este hombre está armado y se le considera muy peligroso. Se recompensará al que dé informes acerca de su paradero actual. Atención radio oyentes. Hoy, a eso de la 1 de la madrugada, se escapó un prisionero de la cárcel Los Lobos. fue encarcelado por el asalto del Banco Nacional hace un año. Tiene una cicatriz distintiva en la frente. Este hombre está armado y se le considera muy peligroso. Se recompensará al que dé informes acerca de su paradero actual. Question 20. ¿Cuándo huyó el prisionero? Anoche, esta tarde, esta mañana, hace un año. It would be esta mañana. Sí, so this morning. When did the prisoner flee? This morning. Because they said a eso de la 1 de la madrugada. So that's in the wee hours of the morning. Question 21. ¿Qué tipo de crimen cometió? Un robo, un fraude, un asesinato, una violación. So 21 would be un robo. So it was a robbery because they said por el asalto del Banco Nacional. Alright? So he was a robber. Question 22. ¿Cómo se considera al fugitivo? Inofensivo, orgulloso, peligroso, humilde. 22, peligroso. See, they use the actual word. In the announcement, it said, se le considera muy peligroso. Consider him dangerous. Right? And that's it for the announcements. So just listen carefully when they're read and look at the possible responses that you have and try to use deductive reasoning to eliminate responses that couldn't be possible based on what you've heard. Alright, next, and the final section for the listening is the story. So this one is called Julia's Surprise. I'll only read it once. So I'll read part A first and then part B and go through each of the questions for each section that I read. So part A, you're listening for where was Julia's husband? Why did Julia think there was a problem? What concerned Julia about the back door? What happened recently? Remember, when you start listening to the story, the examiner will tell you to close your booklets, so you will not be able to see the questions. So what you can do is, when you get the first opportunity to look at the questions, look at them carefully, look at them thoroughly, to see what you are listening for. Alright, so part A, midnight noises. Eran las 11:30 cuando Julia se acostó. Estaba sola en casa porque su marido, Ricardo, estaba de viaje de negocios en el extranjero. De repente, oyó ruidos extranjeros y tuvo miedo. Los ruidos parecían venir de la puerta trasera. Julia se preocupó mucho porque no podía recordar si había cerrado la puerta con llave antes de acostarse. Pensó en los robos que habían ocurrido en su vecindario y sin vacilar, Julia fue al teléfono para llamar a la policía. 23. Where was Julia's husband? Away on business, in bed sleeping, out shopping, at work. 23 would be A. He was away on business because they said here, estaba de viaje de negocios en el extranjero. So he was away on a business trip abroad. 24. Why did Julia think there was a problem? Her dog was barking. She heard a strange noise. Ricardo informed her of it. Her neighbor telephoned her. So B, she heard a strange noise, right? De repente, suddenly, oyó ruidos extranjeros. Suddenly she heard strange noises. 25. What concerned Julia about the back door? It was too squeaky. The key was missing. It was not strong enough. She might not have locked it. So that would be D. She might not have locked it because it said in the passage, Julia se preocupó mucho. She was worried a lot porque no podía recordar. She could not remember si había cerrado la puerta, if she had closed the door, con llave antes de acostarse, with the key before going to bed. So D. 26. What had happened recently? Julia had lost the key. A robber had entered Julia's house. There had been robberies in the neighborhood. Or D. Strange noises had been heard in the neighborhood. 26 would be C. There had been robberies in the neighborhood. It says, pensó en los robos. She thought about the robberies que habían ocurrido, that had happened or occurred, en su vecindario, in her neighborhood. So C. And that's it for part A. So now for part B. En voz baja, ella le informó al policía que había un ladrón que trataba de entrar en su casa y le pidió que viniera rápidamente. Se armó con un bate y se colocó detrás de la puerta. Cuando oyó ladrar a su perrito, ¿qué le habrá pasado a mi pobre perrito?, se preguntó Julia. Sin pensar en el peligro, abrió la puerta y ¡qué sorpresa recibió! En vez de un ladrón, ella vio a su perrito rodeado de los perros feroces del vecino. 27. What information did Julia give to the police? A thief was in her house. A thief was attacking her dog. Someone was attempting to steal her dog. A thief was trying to break into her home. D. She told the police that somebody or a thief was trying to break in. She says, it says, ella le informó al policía. She informed the police que había un ladrón, there was a thief, que trataba de entrar en su casa, that was trying to get into her house. 28. Where did Julia position herself? Behind the door, in the doorway, beside the dog, beside a bat. It's gonna be A, behind the door, because she said, se colocó. She positioned herself detrás de la puerta, behind the door. Detrás de, behind. 29. What did Julia do when she heard her dog bark? Called her neighbor, called the police, opened the door, or let the dog in. So 29 would be C. She opened the door. It said, sin pensar en el peligro, without thinking of the danger, abrió la puerta. She opened the door. Right? And then the last one, number 30, Julia would have to explain to the police that her neighbor was a thief, she had been mistaken, her dog was missing, or the thief had fled. 30. B. She had been mistaken. Why? Because after she opened the door, she says, ¿Qué sorpresa recibió? What a surprise she got. En vez de un ladrón, instead of a thief, ella vio a su perrito. She saw her little dog rodeado a los perros feroces del vecino. Surrounded by ferocious dogs in the neighborhood. So, right, she was mistaken. So it wasn't a thief. It was actually the dog out there. Alright, so that concludes it for section 4 and for part A of the 2018 exam. I hope this was helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next part with the reading comprehension to give you the answers for the grammar section. Alright, buena suerte y nos vemos. Adiós.